So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dominic. I am here to host this event today at 4 p.m., Thursday, 13th July 2023. So, today's topic is very extremely interesting. People from safety or fire, what a computer vision can do to enhance the fire safety in a building. This subject is probably not many covered. People are in the development of AI. I've not seen anybody talking on the subject called fire safety using your CCTV camera. So today we are going to talk about applications and innovations. And most of us know, what is this computer vision? I'm sure everybody who's here, everybody knows. But however, I would like to touch upon what is computer vision. It's a field of artificial intelligence that focuses on enabling computer to understand and interpret visual information from images or videos. Those videos that you're streaming every day through cameras in your complex, the CCTVs that you have, you're getting tons of images. Now, how are you converting those images which you take as artificial intelligence? So it involves developing an algorithm and technique that allows computers to extract meaningful insight from visual data. I mean to say that you want specific information. It could be a fire, it could be smoke, or it could be anything. You tell the computer, so this is what I need. So they develop that. So similar to how humans perceive and interpret visual information, this is called computer vision. Today, it has a potential to enhance fire and safety measures by providing early detection, proactive monitoring, assisting in emergency response. It enables automation efficiency and accuracy in identifying potential hazards, thereby reducing the risk associated with fire and improving overall safety. Today, I have experts, Mr. Vamshi and Srini, who's going to talk on this subject. And I introduce myself. I'm Dominic, the founder of Fire and Security of India, FSCI, involved in fire industry almost 34 years now, and now very actively involved in enhancing the knowledge on National Electrical Code in India. We're traveling length and breadth of the country. We are tied up with Bureau of Indian Standard to ensure that everybody is aware of standards and codes. So I would like to introduce the company called Durank. Durank, if you see in our past more than 10 to 12 webinars, we've been covering on various aspects, how to manage a warehouse. And we are talking about beyond surveillance. It is not just looking at a camera and capturing and recording. And, again, after 30 days, you record those incidents. How do we enhance the current CCTV system in your building? So Durank actually helps businesses and the organization to maximize the potential of the surveillance cameras. To do this, they have built a secure, a reliable, and cost-effective video platform that provides users with deep, intelligent analytics insight in a real time, which is called a video management system. They founded in 2015, gathered highly talented global team to create the cloud-based platform. Durank continuously innovative video streaming and storage technology offers to clients that ultimate in video surveillance functionality delivered seamlessly from the cloud. Durank headquartered in Nashville, USA. They have R&D center in Helsinki, Finland. The development and global support is based out of Hyderabad, India. That's Durang for you, ladies and gentlemen. And my friend Srini, who is the speaker today, a wonderful human being who travels length and breadth. Today is based out of Delhi, addressing bunch of intellectuals there and talking about how to secure the facility. We call him DP. He has 22 years of diverse experience in various industries, ranging from financial market, real estate, automobile, and information technology. His global work experience and extensive travel gave him keen understanding on world markets. His passion has been to identify, create, innovate product and solution and make them available to the market that need them. His passion for developing innovative ideas has made him a serial entrepreneur, founding and advising many startup companies. He is a co-founder of CRO of Durang Inc., the leading provider of video surveillance and analytic as a service. He has been instrumental in shaping the product design and features and providing market insight. Being a ferocious reader and extensive traveler, he is a strong believer in the concept of innovation, innovative ideas coupled with strategic implementation and commercialization lead to create jobs and wealth. His mantra can lead this mantra can lead corporate India to become world economic leader. That's Srini for you.
Thank you, Dominic.
Thank you, Srini. You're welcome. And we have a techno champion, Vamshi Krishna, who is the CEO of Durang. Vamshi has 25 years of cross-functional management experience in project management, operation, technology, infrastructure, people, and customer management. Has an extensive experience dealing with cross-culture teams and customers from across the globe, including US, Europe, South Africa, and Middle East. As the head of operation of Durang for the past 8 years, he has overseen a development, implementation, and support of the cutting edge of Durang Vision Smart Surveillance Solution. With a strong focus on quality, he has spearheaded the implementation ISO 9001 and ISO 27001. As a technical evangelist, he advocates and helps customers to benefit from and understand the limitation of the technological innovation and surveillance. So we have 2 speakers, and I consider everyone here today are also part of this discussion. You're not just a mute participant. So I requested my colleague Lakshmi to let you know if when you raise your hand, which means you are ready to ask questions to any one of us here. And let's make this webinar as an interactive webinar, more like a panel discussion. Understand, throw your ideas, something that you're not seen in the presentation, maybe adds a lot of value. So we keep discussing this as we go. So I now welcome both Srini and Vamshi to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominic. Thanks for the wonderful introduction of the computer vision. Giving a definition far beyond what we usually give as a technical team. Generalizing the statement of computer vision is always a very interesting thing. Like you said, it's all encompassing now. It's not just to a specific area of interest. The computer vision has now gone beyond surveillance. It has gone beyond just image processing and beyond analyzing small bits and pieces of videos to give recommendations. Like if you take YouTube, a lot of times you get a lot of AI recommendations from the videos. If you watch one, you get a series of other ones. So those days are gone. Today, there is a lot of functional importance for the video analytics with the computer vision. It can solve a lot of problems, but like I said, you also mentioned, and Vamshi also knows about this, and then he always highlights about some of the limitations that technology can pose before we aggressively go into it. There will be some limitations in any technology when the evolution happens, right? So there are well-built existing systems that are catering to the existing requirements, right? But at every generation of technology, there will be a change, there will be a progress. And that progress can be incremental or it can be drastic and disruptive. But if we see in the fire environment, fire protection, fire safety, and fire mitigation, these are some of the very delicate areas where you need to have a very safe and incremental progress in the implementation of new technologies. We want to be very cautious about that. You have a lot of IoT devices that are there. You have graphic softwares are there. You have a lot of sensors are there. So coexisting with that ecosystem and enhancing with the computer vision is what our scope and focus is. We are not trying to replace anything that is existing because they've been proven systems, so to say, right? They are the ones which are actually giving a lot of inputs to you, to the quick response teams. But there is a lot of scope for enhancement with the vision, because most of these implemented systems as of now doesn't have vision opportunity. So we add that vision to the existing systems, and we fusion the future technologies with the existing technologies and make it as a coexisting ecosystem for the better prevention of fire and saving the lives for the future. So having said that, I would request Vamshi to start the presentation, and then we'll answer any questions. And by the way, it's a good thing that you mentioned that it's an interactive session. A lot of times we come from different technologies. Our technological focus is on the computer vision. We are not experts in the fire. Dominic, you and a lot of the participants, they are the experts in the fire, but we come away from the functional area of fire, but we are trying to prevent and provide a better technology for that. So always the inputs will help us and enhance our solution to integrate with the existing ones and then make it as a better environment for the prevention of the fire, and then create safe environments.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you for the introduction, sir. I think that sets the stage to definitely mention what is the Durank vision solution about, because as we said, we would like to give a vision to all the data that you probably are already getting from the sensor. So we provide the eyes and a bit of a brain along with the eye to be able to analyze that video data as well. So that is what we will do. So let me just share my screen here. As Dominic mentioned, we started off Durank few years back in 2015 with the idea to do more with surveillance. And we will just briefly cover what we mean by that before getting into the specifics of how it will be applicable to the fire and safety area. So I will take a few minutes of your time to explain about what the solution is and how it generally evolved and applies in general with computer vision. And then we will get into the specifics of it. So typically, CCTV, when we look at it, it's basically used for evidence management. All we do is set up cameras, define what is the number of days of storage that will be required for these cameras, where all you need to have access, coverage, where all the coverage is required, for example, how many days of storage required for each camera. Based on that, you will have the planning done, have the connectivity established, define what kind of cameras you would need, maybe some fire resistance cameras, some vandal resistant cameras, dome cameras, whatever type of cameras that you would have. Depending on the need and requirement, you would have various types of these cameras in the premises. And somebody may be monitoring depending on the type of the business and the requirement. Maybe some people are monitoring it 24/7, or some people are not and only do investigation. If some incident happens, then you go back, check the recordings and try to investigate and gather evidence to take action. So that is how typically we know of CCTV as we know. Right. But then we, as I said, we wanted to do more with surveillance. And by that more, let me explain with a brief video of what we mean by that. So as I said, there would be various types of cameras depending on the type of functionality you would need. There may be FLIR cameras, kind of things. So any type of camera, make and model, you should be able to bring into the single platform for live monitoring, irrespective of the type of the camera, make and model of camera. So that gives you the flexibility to use appropriate cameras for the appropriate functionality that you need to derive from that particular camera. So it gives you that flexibility, one single platform to connect to any types of these cameras is the first aspect of it. So once you have these cameras, the ability to logically group the cameras depending on your requirement. So logical grouping. So with a single login, maybe a pathway that you want to cover, the cameras can be grouped, all of those cameras. Maybe cameras of all the fire exits can be grouped together. So depending on your requirement, you should be able to group these cameras to quickly review or monitor those cameras. Right. So this is part of the video management system portion of the solution, the ability to connect cameras, provide a required number of days of storage. And it's not that every camera will have the same number of days of storage. Depending on your need, you can specify that specific cameras need to have 7 days of storage, some 30 days, some 180 days. Depending on your need, you should be able to specify at an individual camera level, not as a bulk, depending on your storage. Yeah, if you add more storage, all the cameras get the same number of days of storage. No, we have evolved from that area. So we now can specify at individual camera level the lot of parameters for that camera, what resolution you would need for those cameras, how many days of storage you would need from cameras, who all should have access to this camera. You may have multiple users, security personnel will be there, then administrators will be there. Depending on who it is, you should be able to give specific users access to specific cameras only. So that portion is the first portion of the solution, which is the video management system of the thing. And once you have that, what Durank allows you is to apply any video analytic on top of any camera. And you can also run multiple analytics on the same camera as well. We will explain that. But typically, the ability to apply or configure whatever analytic that you would like to apply. And all these analytics are based on artificial intelligence and computer vision neural network technologies. So in order to eliminate any false alarms that you would receive. So that's what we focus on. All these analytics run on the GPU architectures. So you should be able to pick up a particular analytic that you would like to apply on a camera, whether it is smoke and fire detection, whether it is counting of the number of people to understand the occupancy, whether to see if there is an object missing, like if any missing fire extinguishers, for example, or somebody blocking a fire exit, or some objects blocking a fire exits. Any type of these things can be there. You should be able to apply these analytics on specific cameras. With the specifying the area of interest, you can define the zone within this area. This is what I'm looking for, and specify whether you want to apply this analytic 24/7, so that the system keeps monitoring that camera feed, analyzing that camera feed all the time, or specific periods of the time, only during the night, intrusion detection during the night, for example, or crowd formation during the night. When any event is triggered, when the system keeps checking for analyzing the feed, if any event is triggered, that is notified in real time to the command center, as well as you will have reports built in terms of these events, the times that these events are occurring, etc. So a lot of analysis is possible based on the events that get triggered. So the solution Durank Vision is built on the two parameters of the video management and integrated video management and video analytics solution is what Durank Vision is about. Just a overview, like what we spoke, the input process output, the IPO, the Durank input process output is the input can be coming from various types of cameras. They could be fixed cameras. They could be cameras that you mount on cranes. There could be for construction monitoring scenario, for example. Or there could be cameras that you monitor on the drones for forest fires, for example, or understanding or handling with natural disasters. So it could be drone mount camera, it could be body worn cameras or helmet mount cameras, any type of camera to be able to bring into the platform for centralized monitoring, review, and remote monitoring purposes, and also analysis. So you can store all these camera data as well and analyze this data and give you insights as well. So when this, all the camera feeds that come into the platform, they can be monitored from a central command center. So you could have a video wall that monitors this. Whenever there is an alert that is triggered, the alert can come on the screen as a pop-up on the command center, so you can take action on it. So there is a possibility to track all these actions that you take, and what action has been taken can be recorded. So that portion is there as part of the command center. Then not only a fixed command center, but command center on the go. So your handheld devices or mobile devices become your command control centers, because you can receive alerts directly on WhatsApp. For example, if there is an incident or an alert that gets triggered, you can receive that alert over WhatsApp with you. You can see the live view of that camera immediately when you receive the alert, etc. So your command center is with you all the time as well, as long as obviously depending on the user permissions that you give to the specific users, our notifications can be sent like that. This is the overall solution that Durank has built. And some of these analytics that are part of the solution are few maybe generic, not specific to the webinar that we are talking about in terms of fire and safety. But in general, we have safety, security related aspect of analytics. We have people related analytics, and then vehicle related analytics as a group, if you see. Yeah. Specifically from the perspective of people related analytics, you can measure if there is any crowd that getting formed, or you can count the number of people. Occupancy measure can be done. You can detect fire and smoke. Obviously, we will talk more about that in the subsequent slides. You can also ensure people are following the minimum distance. It could be another, not only for the area of the social distancing, but even in terms of safety in workspace environments, whether people are maintaining the distance, or there is any pedestrian obviously probably getting hit with the forklift that's moving, for example. So the distance, minimum distance between persons or moving vehicles, it could be. And then vehicle related alerts, including automatic number plate detection, facial recognition for attendance tracking of the people, for example, of all the employees or the staff. All those analytics are integrated in the system, so you could apply any of these analytics on the existing cameras. So that's the advantage of the solution. Existing cameras can be used to apply these analytics and then derive insights. There is no need for specialized cameras. Obviously, there will be specific cameras for specific purposes. We will get to that. But in general, for most of the analytics, 99% of the analytics, any regular camera would be able to provide the feed that is required for us to run analytics. And when I say 99% of the cameras are the analytics, it could be even analog cameras. All we require is the video feed from the camera to be able to process the analytics. It cuts across, the applications cut across multiple industries or verticals. And obviously, fire and safety also cuts across all of these verticals, whether it is malls and retail showrooms, or construction sites, or it could be places of worship, or it could be offices and residential complexes. Everywhere, wherever there is a chance of it. We are talking about mostly, indoor kind of spaces, but even outdoor spaces, maybe stadiums, for example, etc. So public parks, all of those areas as well. The analytics will help in all across the verticals. The applications cut across multiple verticals. When we specifically look at the fire and safety aspect of it, right? So how does it help? How does the vision technology help in terms of the fire and safety? See, the vision, it enhances the fire and safety measures by providing early detection. That's the one aspect of it. Proactive monitoring that you can do, and assisting in taking the emergency responses. Those are the three key areas. And it can also enable automation, bring in efficiencies and accuracies in terms of identifying potential hazards even before they happen. Like, for example, much before the fire is created, you could detect the smoke or various types of the smoke that get formed. So it helps in early detection of potential hazards, and thereby it reduces the risks associated with the fire and improving the overall safety. The way it works is that system can be trained to recognize patterns and characteristics. It's basically through machine learning, we train the system to detect these characteristics of smoke, the patterns of the smoke. This can help in identifying the smoke generation or abnormal smoke behavior, etc., which can immediately alert the administrators for potential fire hazards even before the flames are visible. By identifying the signs of fire such as smoke or flames, and by detecting fires at the early stage, it enables the rapid response teams to quickly take action and minimize the potential damage.
This is
So
where,
that,
sorry, Vamshi, I just want to add one point here.
sure.
This is where a lot of times the it's a enhancement or an add-on because a lot of times the smoke that reaches to the spot detector or the smoke get evaluated by the aspiration detector. So some of those things do take some time, and most of the time when it reaches to the top of the roof, by the time there is some kind of a damage is already started. Computer vision can actually analyze that smoke pattern and at a little bit early than what it can reach to the spot detector. It can actually give you the alarm so that the camera of that location is also given as a live feed, so you can assess it immediately and then start taking responses. It may not be exactly doing what the spot detector is doing, but it's an enhancement and also it's an additional add-on to do an early detection.
Yep. So in terms of the visualization, right, when we speak about the data that you get, how do you visualize that, where it is happening? The system provides you the capability to upload the floor plans, the building plans, and the floor plan can be uploaded in the system. You can specify where the camera positionings are, where the coverage is, and if at all any threat is detected, a potential threat or smoke is detected by within any of these cameras, immediately the early warnings alerts can be triggered and they get onto the command center to notify, so that you will have immediate access to not only that camera, but the ability to quickly review the proximity cameras, the nearby cameras, so that you can have access to it live in terms of what is happening on the ground. Gives you the complete eye. You can also see the spread of the fire, if at all there is a fire, in fact, and then you can see the spread of that fire through the progress of these cameras, which you don't need to walk through multiple cameras, etc. You click on the camera, specifically nearby cameras also pop up there, and you will be able to see all those camera views to see how the fire is progressing, for example. And there are possibilities for integrations also with the graphics softwares, as well as integrations, I guess. So I think you can talk more about the graphics integration.
Yeah, so there is a large implementations of graphic softwares are there already in the buildings, existing buildings. A lot of them are present, but they actually provide the visualization in either 2D or a 3D in terms of floor by and also building wise. Those visualizations are given in terms of a graphic analysis, but to enhance that a bit ahead of the graphic analysis, if you have a real view of the scenario from that particular floor, like say 44th floor's got a 44th floor got a issue that is detected and then it's been notified, you need to get back into the our system, Durang system, which is already integrated. If the possibility of that graphic software gives you an input, we'll definitely take that input and open up our floor plan and then give you all these cameras that has been shown on the right side, and then you can click on each of the camera and then have the view of those areas, and then do analysis and then see what's the exact situation at that, and then give the response team quick response team to go and then mitigate the situation. So it is basically hand in hand to work together. And most of the time, like I said, it enhances if you have a fusion or if you have a collaboration between existing systems and the future systems. Computer vision, so to say, can enhance a lot of things to you, but existing systems doesn't need to be replaced overnight. So they can coexist and they can actually do work together. So this is where we are working with a lot of OEMs, where OEM to OEM technology collaborations are actively happening in the back end. So we do get a lot of requests from major OEMs to collaborate and work with their existing systems. And we are pretty open in terms of our approach in working with them. There's no competition to anyone. As a technology provider, we're always ready to work with existing technology partners. So that's how the OEM to OEM collaboration is happening. And hopefully that will enhance the possibilities of prevention and possibilities of early detection and possibilities of proactive and predictive analysis of situations that can arise. So this is what is very important in the industry. Computer vision, there was a question in the Q&A said, will there be any false alarms? I mean, any system will have false alarms. What is the trade-off? You have 20 false alarms, or you have 20% of the false alarms, and if that saves a life, will you be willing to take it up? So that's the question. The question is, what is the trade-off? Early, detection of situations where there are false alarms. If you are okay to live with it, then the question is, let's go with that. Right. So there will be some false alarms. I'm not denying that. And, what is the level of those false alarms and how do we mitigate progressively those false alarms? That's what our R&D continuously works on. And we try to reduce and minimize those false alarms and then try to increase the efficiencies of the system. That's where our OEM to OEM collaboration is happening in the back end very effectively.
To add to Srini on this particular graphic, the slide that is Vamshi is showing, as we grow, as technology progress, every fire officer who's going to attend a fire call will have a pad. In the pad, this information pops up. Okay, similar to what you're seeing as a graphic. It says tower number 1, 4th floor. This is the tower. So you have so many cameras. This can tell how the fire is spreading. Is it spreading on the right side or right way? So the evacuation could be addressed by the fire officer who's coming to attend the call. You can request the resident or occupant of the building to not to move on the right side. Please move on to the left side, because he can see camera to camera how the fire is spreading on what volume the fire, how fast it is spreading. So this can give you a real picture to the fireman who's coming. Otherwise, it's just a walkie-talkie. What is happening? That. But here with this, Durang visualization, you can really see what is happening in the building. You don't need to be there inside. So, but you can see. This is the technology that we are talking. This is something. The future of the video imaging, the fireman or the fire officer, even the fireman at the ground, he need not really walk into the fire, because if this is integrated, he can see how the fire is burning. You can send the robot today. We have robot firefighting. They goes up and fight. You can pinpoint. This is accuracy which camera can tell you where exactly this fire is. So if this can be integrated with fire protection, firefighting, firemen, fire department, I think the fire incident or the volume of damage that can occur, every insurance company must be very happy, because there's a minimum damage to the property. Wonderful technology that you presented, Vamshi. A good slide.
That's a very good point, Dominic. Like Vamshi's previous slide, the live feed can be given by the administrator of the system to the fire office immediately. They can share a link, and that link enables them to get into the system. And while they are traveling all the way through with the firefighting system, they have a live view of all these, cameras that are there in a building. Not only that, they can also share it to management. They share it to, because our system doesn't restrict how many number of users can actually access live. We have a complete multicast system where we only take one feed from the camera, and from the cloud we split it out to everyone, so that there is no bandwidth utilization excessively done at the last mile. Entire bandwidth is utilized if there are 100 people watching the same camera. It is done from the cloud. The distribution of the feed is done from the cloud. So we effectively manage that. That is our, efficient way of giving the feed. So that helps in terms of, the fire department to view it. the local facility management, and then safety officer, fire officer, everybody to have the eyes with the thing, and then whatever they need to do, the next steps of giving the messages through public address system or some other way to the occupants to move around is the next step. That doesn't come under our focus, but we give eyes on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. That helps them to make informed decisions about whether it is evacuation routes or firefighting strategies. That they can decide the next steps appropriately by having the eyes on the ground. And in terms of adding to the evacuation routes, for example, measuring the occupancy of maybe on a floor, maybe on a building, specific floors, areas, etc., and monitoring the evacuation process as people exit. That helps you also to understand where there is more focus needs to be, where you need to deploy more resources in terms of the evacuation. So where there are specific areas where there are people stuck, for example. So it can provide the number of people present in that. So it can aid in efficient evacuation planning. Maybe identifying the areas where people might be trapped or stranded. You can send appropriate rescue operations in a timely manner. You can also remotely guide the quick response teams with that information. You can have, definitely see, when we talk about measuring the occupancies, it is important to note that the measurement also requires appropriate coverage through the cameras of all the areas. Whether all these, you may have multiple entry and exit points. There could be fire exits, there could be staircases, etc. All these areas where there is a possibility of ingress and egress, the entry exit definitely need to be covered. And if so, you need to add more coverage through more cameras and the type of cameras that you would use at a specific area. If the camera itself is burnt, there is nothing it can provide also. So maybe some places you have fire resistance cameras, especially on the specific areas of fire exits, etc. So it's important to understand those as well. So of what type of coverage and what type of cameras that you would use at specific points. And through that information that we receive from the cameras, we analyze and provide you the occupants information for how many people are there on either floor by floor you would like, or across specific floors that you would need, or entire building. All that is possible to providing real-time basis of the counting, so you can monitor that occupancy.
Yeah, if you look at that, enhancement of coverage, there may not be planned way of already done covering all the exits and entries with the full coverage of the cameras. So this is the design thing that we may have to assess and then redeploy some more cameras. Because if you have 40 exits and 25 entries, unless you cover all of them, all of that 65 together, then you are missing out the count. So how many people entered, how many people exited is what is very much important. And the next step to understand is, say if you have 20 floors, each floor where there is an elevator shaft opening and closing, that's where you provide the coverage. Our system will take all these cameras input and information and will give you how many people are there in each floor, how many people have already exited, how many totally entered. So to do that analysis, right, the coverage need to be increased. If you miss out one exit, and if there are 50 people left already, you are still bothered with saving 50 more people, right? They are safe, they are left, but you are still focusing on another 50 people. So you need to reinforce these cameras and then take the feed from all of those and then do the analysis. So like Vamshi said, some of the exits, fire exits and fire paths, it's a good idea to give a replacement with fire resistant cameras, so that in case of the fire also you still have the view because they are not destroyed.
Now, to add further more on this slide, in realistic, when you go visit any hospital, any hotels, you have these housekeeping trolleys. Generally, these housekeeping trolleys are pushed towards these exit doors. And the person, the housekeeping doesn't know the importance of the fire exit, which is what you see on an image. Similarly, we were doing a fire audit. it's like a five-star hospital, wonderful, everything nice. But when I saw an exit which is full of, the water tank, small water bags are there, trolleys are there, surprising that they do not able to identify who kept it, why they kept it. Now, if there's a camera and you mark this as a very important area, if any object come and park there, it should trigger an alarm to the security or the fire officer that fire exit is blocked. No, there's an incident where 8 people died in Kolkata because the fire exit was locked through a chain, and they could not open, and they could find 8 charred body at this exit site. Imagine if there's a camera there. Cameras are there. You know why they have a camera near the exit point? In hospital, they feel the patient escaping without paying the bill. They use this fire exit. This is quite common.
Right.
In hospital, they monitor all these fire exits to make sure that patient doesn't run away. Either sometimes they lock it. And in the hotel, they have third party walking into the hotel, into the room at night by using this fire exit path. And there is a camera. Because of this reason, they have a camera. Not because they want to see how secure is the fire exit. So today, in reality, fire exit that is there in most of the places, most of the building, either it is there's a poster which covers saying that it is a fire exit door, or they have trolleys like this, and not allowing people to exit in emergency. So this camera, computer vision can help the fire officer, the security officer, or the administrator to know whether their exit is blocked. This is very, very important. One is people counting, yes, how many people are exited, how many people come in. Second is the path is clear for exit.
Correct.
Definitely, Dominic. I think you made a good point, and probably I'll touch upon that in the next slide as well. But to ensure that this coverage, when we speak of this coverage, the cameras and analytics on top of these cameras, this is more of a safety call. It's not a budgetary call. That's what we need to keep in mind, that we are looking at saving lives of the people and avoiding incidences that are dangerous, for human life. So that's what we need to keep in mind. And when you made this point of, exit signs, or the exit paths, people entering through the exit path, that's something definitely we need to track. And that's, we mentioned that is frequent or unauthorized usage of exit doors. So it's meant for exit, not for entry. And if any time we see any person entering through the exit path, we can immediately alert people. So you can see how frequently that is happening. You can do an analysis and why that is happening. Maybe it's more convenient for people to enter from there because it makes it easy. You want to take a smoke break, go from there, come in from there. So is that how it is used, or whatever is be the thing? Then you will be able to analyze that better through that monitoring of entry. Exits are being used for entry. We also need to ensure we can monitor the workings of these exit signs, whether the fire exits, the signs are correctly there or not, like whether they're glowing or not, especially when there is power outage, for example, still they need to be glowing. So we can still train the system to detect that they are functioning correctly or not, whether the exit paths are, if there are defined exit path, whether those are lit properly or not, that also can be detected and tracked. We can also track the movement of these hazardous material, because computer vision algorithms can be trained to detect and recognize specific objects, relevant to safety also. Like, for example, we spoke about exit signs, whether they're glowing or not. It can also identify the presence or absence of fire extinguishers at specific places. So if that is removed, for example, then we should be able to immediately bring it to the attention that these fire exits are, fire extinguishers are missing. So it helps in ensuring the compliance and with the safety regulations also, and enables quick access to the resources when we really need them at that point of time. And obviously, it can also track the PPE. We speak about PPE in different setups or scenarios. So it can detect the people, whether they are actually following the right procedures, whether having the safety goggles or not, whether they are wearing the protective clothing or not. All that can also be done. So this is while the incident is happening. All computer vision can also help with post-incident analysis as well, not only while the incident is happening, but post-incident analysis by analyzing the footage providing valuable insights, with understanding the sequence of events, how it happened exactly, identifying potential causes or points of origin, and improving fire prevention strategies for the future, because that's how we can use the data that we gather after the incidents also. One is the threat deterrent. These are the blockage of fire exits, detection immediately, misuse of the fire exits, or hazardous material. All this helps as a deterrent. So we attack it in multiple aspects. One is, the idea is to deter the threat, first of all. So this works as a deterrent. When the incident happens, what is the action that we take, how we can help in that. And after the incident, post-incident, what can we do in terms of helping with the analysis. So those are the three aspects in which the computer vision and solutions can be put to use, and are being put to use.
Yeah. This is where our solution with cloud enablement gives you a lot of advantage. Because for the notifications, with various kind of notifications when the alarm happens, not just in the command control, but sending those notifications via SMS, email, and also WhatsApp, quick WhatsApp messages. So all these things can be put together in the deterrent scenarios, live events when they happen. It can be notified with all of them, and together with the live feed. So that notification system is already existing with us.
And this is that notification system. One is on the command center aspect of it. Whenever any event is triggered, like for example, a blockage is detected at the fire exit, you will get a notification here immediately, along with the live view of the particular camera popping up, so that you don't have to really again open up which camera, etc. So you will get an image immediately of that event that gets triggered, along with the live view of that particular camera, so you can immediately look at it and then take appropriate action that is required. So there is an action option there, wherein you can note down the action that is taken. Maybe you've informed, or you take, or you escalate it, for example, to the superior, because it's not in our control. You see it multiple times, the trolleys are being kept. You escalate it to the senior manager, then who will probably percolate it down and take appropriate actions. But still, you will note down what is the action taken. Either you have escalated it or you actually acted upon it. So all these events have multiple statuses. Like there is a pending event which needs to be looked at, reviewed. Then there is a flagged event, which is basically an event that is escalated to the next level for action, and then approved, which is basically after finally closing that event. So you track the responses to the events that get triggered also, and you have a possibility to review all these events. There is a possibility to export the actions taken for these events over a period of time. All of that, the system provides you those functionalities. And these notifications, this is what we see on the command center. But as I said, the event can be notified through a WhatsApp image also to the respective people, whoever is the specified person. You could send with the image of that event that got triggered. That's possible. Few of other screenshots, you will have multiple locations can be connected onto the same platform. When you're managing multiple sites, for example, all of them can be brought into the same platform. You could receive alerts from any of these locations. You can also monitor health of all these cameras. So you have connected multiple cameras. Are they working or not? Whether they're live now streaming or not. So you can track the health of these cameras. You can do a quick search for the events. How frequently some specific event has occurred in the last 6 months. How many times did we get the fire exits blocking event in the last week? How many people entered through the fire exit? So those kind of search you can do quickly for events. You can track those events, number of events that have happened. So overall, it's basically a platform that provides you reuse possibility of existing infrastructure, because you don't need to change any camera. So with existing cameras, you will be able to bring them into the platform for analysis. And all the analytics, whatever built-in analytics are available, they can be immediately put to use. But additional system training is possible because it can be customized. All the AI can be customized for specific needs or specific anomaly detections, etc. It's possible. And we don't work in silos. It's a platform that works seamlessly in an integrated manner. We have well-defined APIs, the application programming interfaces, which enable you to connect. Like, for example, you can sound a hooter alarm automatically when the fire is detected, or it could send out a notification to another third-party system. Similarly, we can receive notifications from third-party systems as well. So we have APIs, well-defined APIs for that. we work as a technology partner, not just one camera or CCTV vendor, but work in partnership to ensure that we work to ensure we help you in the work that you do. So with that, I will end the presentation and we can open up for any questions and then have the discussion going forward.
Yeah, well, I'm requesting the participants to raise your hand. They're down. If you look at raise your hand, those who raise the hand probably welcome you to talk on live and talk to them. We already have a few questions there. I will take a few questions later. I'll go for a live interaction. So feel free, be there. Please be there with the mic ready. I will take up the question answer that is there here on desktop.
Yeah, I see
Will computer vision able to replace the smoke detector in next 10 years down the line? This I would like to answer. It cannot. It cannot replace the smoke detector. You know, there are smoke detector you require above the false ceiling in a narrow lane. So you can't have cameras in that, you know. So, and spot detector and aspiration will continue, and it is a safety requirement that will continue. It is the camera vision or the camera is just an add-on feature to ensure that it's add value. That's all. And also it helps the evacuation method. If you've seen the slide where you can have open the graphic, give the link to the firefighter or a fire department, you can review the whole situation. At what level the fire is spreading. That's all. But cannot replace smoke detector, even if it is 25 years. But as a fire expert, I would recommend that replace that with all the cameras.
Yeah, in a lighter vein, I would like to say we don't mind a smoke detector in the bedroom, but not a camera, right? So obviously there are things that you would like to use, and similar way in the outdoor environment, I can't put a smoke detector. I need to use computer vision for that. So there are cases where which one is better for use.
So Soumya, Srini is in Delhi today. I don't know how long he's there. He's here. But demo is something different, okay? It is not a kind of where you put a camera and put up a fire and show the demo and all that. It's a tailor-made. You need to study whether you have the cost, you have a budget to do that development, and what extent you want to see. So all this, if you missed my introduction in the beginning, you can really identify anything that you wish to, because artificial intelligence is like a brain. You can tell them what it need to detect, what action to be taken. So if you say this volume of fire or smoke to be detected, it will definitely detect. There's no question of why do I need a demo? But this is something that you need to study, whether you have that much of budget. I'll leave it to you, Srini, to answer the question.
Yeah, that's a very valid point, Dominic. We do get a lot of requirements in a lot of different areas. One of the ones that I discussed with you last week, one that high-end, electric substation, 133 kV. That I think it is a big one. So they want to monitor the sparks or the pattern of the lightning kind of a thing that comes out of that with the sound. So they are saying that how far it is spreading and how much it is, the volume. Those things need to be identified. Yes, with the computer vision, we can train the system and then do it. But like you said, what is the cost factor? What is the development effort that is required? We will definitely give the budget reports and then also give you the analysis of timelines that takes to develop, and also give you when it can be implemented with all the things. So that definitely is possible. Most of the requirements that we get are the real world scenarios. It's not like anything guesswork, because the customers are always facing something that they want to solve, and we are here to work on those.
I have two participants raised their hand. I think Ashok Kumar Das, as he entered, he was putting Ashok Kumar, if you are there, if you are able to speak, you are most welcome. I allowed you to speak. Are you there, Ashok Kumar? Ashok Kumar, can you hear me? Okay, I'll move on to Bala. Shankar Bala, you want to talk to Srinivas Ramsey? You can unmute and probably you can speak. You can your speaker is muted, so you can probably talk to them with unmute. Okay, I'll move on to the next question. What about the false alarm by computer vision? There's no question of false alarm here. Over to Vamshi.
See, I think this we discussed during the presentation. I also that there we cannot say there will be zero false alarms. There will be, because the smoke, especially when you look at smoke and fire detection, not talking about other areas. Right? So when we look at that, there are various types of smokes. The patterns vary, etc. So there could be definitely possibility of false alarms. The accuracy levels we can't say more than 90%, 99% like that. Like unlike for a facial recognition or a people counting scenario. Those are different versus fire and smoke detection is a different ball game altogether. So we need to be conservative about our expectations from this at the moment as far as the technology is concerned, as well as the practicality is concerned. So there may be false alarms, but to what extent we can live with that is a call that we need to take. So can we afford to miss one actual event because we try to do too much and then try to eliminate false alarms completely to zero? So that's a call that we need to take. It's a more of a strategic call than anything else. So that's how I would like to put it that way. We need to run the system for a while and see how many you're getting, how much we can optimize. That's something that the tuning that we need to do over a period of time.
So Isam is asking, can we get alerts via call or SMS and detected fire or smoke? DP.
Yeah, I already answered to that. All those live response alerts will be sent with the notification, SMS, email, and WhatsApp. And if there is any other mode that is required, that if there is any Telegram or anything, we can also do that.
Wonderful. So Abdul Azim, yes, we'll share the PPT in a video record mode. What is the lifespan of camera? Lifespan, it depends on the manufacturer that you got it installed. Durand doesn't sell camera, unless it is very specialized application. Probably they can, but you can use any camera, any make, and if the quality is good, yes, of course.
So I think there is an associated question to that, about the lifespan of the camera. There is somebody. Anonymous attendee has put a question saying competition with the Equation kind of CCTV manufacturers in this fire detection. They are already outpaced many players in intrusion sector and sector-based AI. Okay, so here is the thing. What Dominic has also just mentioned, I'll reiterate it. We are not a hardware company, so to say. We are agnostic to hardware. That's why in the presentation, when Vamshi is running the presentation, he clearly mentioned, and I also made it point, some of the cameras, fire resistant cameras, and then thermal cameras, those are all of different manufacturers. We are a software-based solution which works with every kind of cameras that are in the field, be it existing cameras or the future cameras. Okay, so if there is a edge-based analytics that are being running with some hardware provider, that's a different story. But most of the time, edge analytics are low-end analytics in terms of their capability, because on-board camera, there will be very less hardware provisioning can be done for the AI. So what we do is near AI, edge, that is on-premises analytics running with graphic, servers, or on the cloud with bustable, graphic infrastructure that we have, GPU infrastructure that we have. So there is a clear trade-off where the accuracies and the false alarms are a completely different world when it comes to onboarded camera analytic versus, server-based or cloud-based. So to say, these two are different worlds, different environments. So if there is an existing system that you are using, if you want to re-enhance it with a better solution, that we are ready for that. And we are a completely customized solution. It is not that camera is doing something and it is doing that forever. We are taking the feed from the camera and doing analysis at the algorithm level, at the cloud level, which can be customized, which can be enhanced, which can be modified for your future needs without changing the camera infrastructure. So our important point that we are trying to mention is buy good cameras. Okay, we are not saying that you buy something which is not giving you a good feed. Buy good cameras, and then we do the analysis on top of it. That's how we do the solution.
So basically, Durang is a software developer, analytic developer. So you could probably, there are some chat box I can see they want to do POC, they would like to do, Ravi is asking. Ravi, you can see the mail IDs, email IDs of Mrs. Srini and Vamshi. So you can provide them more details, and there'll be some few questions that they'll send it. If that meets the requirement, then they will get back to you. So I would request Ravi AG to note down the email ID Lakshmi has shared on the chat box. And I'll go back to Anand. Possible to monitor the fire pump operation in case pump failed to start means will you get an alert? So here is the IoT comes into this, which again, Mr. Srini's the company called Orego who does that. So they can, yes, they can, not the camera, I would say, but they have an IoT solution with sensor which can monitor the fire pump performance, whether water is there in the pump, how efficiently it is working, whether pump control panel, whether it is a manual mode or an auto mode. This can be detected through IoT solution. So where they can do it. So Ashok Kumar is very interestingly asking, can we use Durang Vision platform in EHD yards and substation to monitor faults and theft cases? Of course, I think it's interesting.
Absolutely. And we have those requests from different state governments also. Where slowly started working through substation monitoring and substation protections. Safety is one of the primary thing for the video analytics. Whether it is people intruding into the areas and then stealing the copper wires or whatever that is the material that is dumped on the substations. And tampering with the substation things and people moving around where they are not supposed to be in the zones which are critically dangerous. Those things monitoring on a live basis. All these things are pretty much possible, not just for one substation. If the DISCOM got like 500 substations, just make it as a centralized opportunity to monitor and proactively inform to the substation manager, plus at the central location, and also quick response team in that zone. So all these things are possible with the system. And Mr. Anand, we are more than interested in discussing with you. Please leave an email to us, and then we will take it forward.
Yeah, thank you, Sunil Tripathi. How this camera discriminate between the smoke and the fire, integrated fire alarm and protection system? The second question I can answer first: how this camera discriminate between smoke and the fire? Would like to answer, Vamshi?
Again, just Vamshi, just a point. It's not the camera; it's our algorithm. So camera is only an eye. It doesn't have a brain. So all that comes out of the camera is what we take as a feed, and we do the analysis at the our server level. Vamshi, please go ahead and take that.
Exactly. I think that answers it. So basically, we take the feed from the camera, analyze it to see what is there in the field of view of the camera, and once the smoke pattern or a fire or the flame is detected, an event is triggered in the system, and this event is notified to whoever needs to be notified. If it's a person, via email, WhatsApp, etc. If it's a third-party system or some other application, we can obviously send out automated message from the system through a API call. So we can push that event through a push mechanism, push that event details of which camera, which location, and what is the event that is detected along with the image that can be pushed to a third-party system, and then they can take appropriate action within that system. So there are APIs to do that.
Yes, sorry, go ahead. Sunil, here it's again the combination of what Srini said, right? All the CCTV camera that you see, they are just an eye. They have no brains. So what Durang does, they put brain into the software and try to tell you what it's saying. You can man or a woman or an object or whatever. So these are the one which they develop and give it to you as a solution. But IoT, when the second question is how to integrate with fire protection, there comes AI and IoT comes into place. If you have that, yes, it can be perfectly monitor the entire fire protection system. It gives you all the parameters that is required through IoT. So in which standard NFPA? The NFPA doesn't talk about this camera monitoring and all that. It doesn't cover under any NFPA codes. With this, I think we have taken all the question. There is no hand has been raised. Ashok Kumar Das, I wish you would have spoken to them. I think you put up a valuable, very, very interesting. Okay, Ashok Kumar is from the.
And Jayesh, I think Mr. Jayesh is asking a question: is the integration with existing CCTV camera feasible, or depends on the OEM, or specific type of cameras is a must for the requirement? Mr. Jayesh, I think we made it very elaborate on that. We work with all existing cameras, whether they are IP or the old analog cameras. For us, feed is important, not the camera functionality. Having said that, we also caution you, like some of the areas we do recommend to go for a high-end cameras. I'm not talking about the brand of the cameras, but any brand of the cameras. But the cameras should be like, for the fire paths and fire exits and some other places, we do prefer fire-resistant cameras, so that you don't have the disadvantage of losing those camera infrastructure at the time of a need. So that's the only recommendation. But otherwise, we are not dependent on the cameras per se.
Yeah, and there's one more question. Etila Narendra is asking, what is the minimum infrastructure needed for existing system, that is existing CCTV they have, to implement this technology, and minimum number of cameras on the floor per square feet required. I think, Narendra, I think you have their mail IDs. If you look down, you can write to Vamshi or Srini. They would like to understand more. They may require more detail. And if you can also mention the application, what kind of environment that you're looking, whether it's a hotel, hospital, or warehouse, let them know. They will be able to answer to that question. Any other question that we are missing here? Jayesh, okay. What is the approximate cost of the 100 camera smoke detector? And so this is TM Singh, as I said, they don't sell camera. It is a software that's built into the your DVR or the NVR, and it gives you. So this is, and again I tell you, it cannot replace the smoke detector. It will only enhance the safety, enhance the detection system by having this solution.
We can discuss offline and then give a quote in case if their their requirement is specific. Please send over an email to our email address, or please post your email ID. We'll reach out to you.
So wonderful to have this interaction. So we'll come back. Fire safety is my passion. That's how we are landed in this. And I don't see anybody in India covered on a webinar to talk about how to enhance the fire and safety. I'm so proud that we did that through Durang. And I'm sure, many more things that we can do, and we'll come back to you again with more solutions that we can, by using the VMS, what more we can add to the facility to make, security 100%, fail-proof when it comes to camera monitoring and safety. Of course, we discussed. So we have covered almost all: construction, warehouse, hospital, healthcare, pharma. Now we have covered fire and safety, and I'm sure there's plenty more opportunity for us to talk and see how Durang VMS can be used in your applications. So those who wish to know more and more, and the previous webinar recording, please write to Lakshmi or write to Vamshi Srini, and we are here to help you and support you. Our objective is make Bharat a Surakshit Bharat. and maximize your CCTV. If you see behind Srini, the logo says, do more with surveillance. Don't just sit with the surveillance, do more with the surveillance. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, my friends. Thank you, Srini, for joining from Delhi. Thank you, Vamshi, for joining from Hyderabad. I am from Bangalore, 3 different cities, and what a technology, the virtual platform bringing us together on one screen. Lovely to have you all. Have a safe weekend. Look forward to see you again. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, Dominic. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dominic. Bye.